Have you ever paused, maybe just for a moment, to consider where to find the answers?
Yeah.
Life's really big questions. Are they hidden somewhere out there, some external force? Or maybe they're actually nestled deep inside us. Today we're embarking on, well, quite a remarkable journey. It's a deep dive that promises to connect us with ourselves, maybe awaken some wisdom that often lies, well, dormant within.
Absolutely. We're going to be exploring Khalil Gibran's internationally renowned masterpiece, The Prophet. Now, Gibran, that's a name really etched in golden letters, isn't it? In the world of literature, philosophy,
Hmm.
born in Lebanon, raised in America. He wasn't just a writer. He was a great poet, a philosopher, a painter, too. And his writing, it just has this unusual allure, doesn't it? A
Mhm.
real depth that seems to touch the heart directly. It speaks to these universal human experiences.
Well, definitely. And The Prophet is truly one of his most celebrated works. I mean, translated into over 100 languages worldwide. Just imagine that. A book written nearly a century ago, yet it feels so profoundly relevant today, still guiding millions. Why? Why does it resonate so deeply across all this time, all these cultures? Well, I think it's because it holds this timeless wisdom, truths that just transcend boundaries, offering insights into what it really means to be human. And the story itself, it revolves around this seer, al-Mustafa. He's about to return home after spending 12 years in this city, or Feliz. And as he's getting ready to leave, the people gather around him. They're urging him, share your wisdom, tell us about life.
And what Al-Mustafa shares, well, they're not just pronouncements, are they? It feels like the very essence of life itself. His thoughts on just countless subjects: love, marriage, children, work, joy and sorrow, freedom, friendship. They're so profound. But at the same time, they're articulated with this disarming simplicity. They really do have the power to astound you. And the beauty of this book, I think, is that it doesn't speak of any single religion or sect. It speaks of humanity, of the soul, and of that ultimate truth, the one we are all in some ways searching for, whatever our background might be.
Exactly. So in this deep dive, our mission really is to select some of the most significant chapters from the prophet. And we want to try and understand them, not just as, old texts, but as living guidance for our modern lives. We won't just translate or summarize. We'll really examine Gibran's ideas in the context of our contemporary challenges. We want to draw some actionable inspiration from them, discover how his words can genuinely enrich our daily existence. Think of this deep dive as maybe a companion, something to hold your hand through difficult paths, compel you to think critically, maybe even offer a new direction for your life. Okay, let's unpack this and begin this incredible journey with Khalil Gibran's prophet, Al-Mustafa, as we seek the secrets of life that await us. 1. On love, the art of true connection. All right, so Al-Mustafa's journey, it begins with this profound inquiry into love. It's undeniably a central theme, isn't it? In human experience, we all seek it, we live for it, we yearn for it. But do we really understand what love is? I mean, beyond the sort of romantic narratives we're constantly fed, is there maybe a deeper meaning that just escapes our usual understanding? Perhaps even, well, a challenging one.
Indeed, I think challenging is the right word. Al-Mustafa's words on love are both inviting and, frankly, quite stark. He says, when love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. Now, these aren't just poetic lines. They feel like a clear warning, don't they? That love isn't always an easy path. It can be difficult, full of challenges. It requires immense courage, patience, perseverance. But the message is clear. If it's true love, it calls to us, it compels us, and we must heed that call because it acts like a crucible, It refines us. It ultimately makes us better individuals. It's a journey of profound growth, not just fleeting pleasure.
That idea of love being hard and steep. Yeah, that's quite a contrast to our usual ideal of like effortless romance. And Gibran deepens this challenge, doesn't he? He says, love shall enfold you, though the sword hidden among its pinions may wound you. Hmm. Now, I don't think this suggests love is inherently painful just for pain's sake. Rather, it implies that the path of true love, well, it often requires us to shed our ego, our selfish desires, our comfort zones. It's about letting go of what binds us, even if that letting go feels like a wound at the time. Love in its most authentic form actually liberates us rather than binding us. It helps us transcend our self-imposed limits, become, well, more expansive beings.
He then introduces that powerful, almost visceral analogy of wheat. He says, love treats you as the wheat which it grinds to its sacred bread. And this isn't just poetic imagery, is it? It signifies this process of profound purification, of transformation. Think about wheat. It gets threshed, ground down, baked into bread. It's broken down, reshaped, reborn into something essential, nourishing. Love, in this sense, refines and purifies us. It strips away the non-essential stuff, brings us closer to our true essence, maybe even our divine essence. This isn't just poetic surrender. It's this radical idea that love actually forces you, often uncomfortably, to confront your self-centeredness. It pushes you beyond just seeking personal gain to truly becoming selfless, not just, acting selfless.
Okay, so if love can be this demanding, this transformative,
Okay.
is it just surrender? Are we just surrendering to some uncontrollable force? Or does it offer us choice? Does it just happen to us? And when love brings pain, as Gibran clearly suggests it can, should we run from it? Or should we maybe embrace that discomfort as part of the journey towards something deeper?
Well, what's particularly striking here, I think, is Gibran's profound insight into control within love. He says, "Say not, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God." Now, that's a significant shift in perspective, isn't it? It moves away from possessiveness. We often try to control love, hold it, grasp it, wanting our beloved, or even the feeling of love itself to fit our wishes. Gibran basically says that attempt at control, that's just possession. It's a limited imitation of genuine love. True love, he implies, it transcends ownership. It's this vast divine current that we enter into rather than something we try to contain.
It's like the analogy of a flowing river, right? True love flows freely. It creates its own path. You can't really bind it or dam it up. It invites us to flow with it, to surrender to its natural current instead of trying to direct it or feeling threatened by its power.
Yeah.
And when we experience true love like that, we feel light, liberated, precisely because we're not trying to direct it. Love itself guides us, takes us to unexpected, beautiful places.
And this sense of surrender, it doesn't mean love is without discipline or responsibility. Gibran talks about the dual nature of love. He says, love gives you not only joys but sorrows also. It will also prune you and shake you that you may strengthen your roots. Now, these words might sound harsh initially, but when you look at them through life's experiences, their meaning becomes undeniably clear, doesn't it? Love's sorrows aren't random. They're like pruning shears that refine us, strengthen our emotional, our spiritual foundations. Just reflect for a moment. Have you ever experienced love challenging you, forcing you to change, to grow in ways that were unexpected, sometimes uncomfortable? It's often right there in those moments of difficulty that love's deepest lessons are actually learned.
Exactly. It's a profound kind of self-reckoning. So if love holds up this mirror, how do we actively engage with that reflection instead of just shying away from the uncomfortable truth it shows us? This process is really about purification, isn't it? Love digs up even our less desirable traits, our fears, insecurities. But it gives us this opportunity for transformation. It points out our flaws, areas for improvement. If we trust the process, trust ourselves to handle that reflection.
And Gibran's radical idea about love continues. Love gives not but itself, and takes not but from itself. What does that mean? It means love is complete within itself. It doesn't need external validation, doesn't need reciprocal gain. When we truly love, we do it not to get something back, but because giving just becomes our nature, an intrinsic outpouring. And the paradox is, in giving love, we don't empty ourselves. We actually become fuller, more abundant. It's like a treasure that multiplies when you share it, flowing from some internal wellspring.
Yeah, and this directly highlights a common mistake, I think. Developing expectations in love, treating it like a quid pro quo. Gibran advises so strongly against this. He says love is a gift given unconditionally, like a child giving selflessly without even thinking about getting something back. It's just this pure, unadulterated act of giving, totally free from wanting something in return.
And that idea of expectation-free love, wow, it's challenging, isn't it? Because our societal norms are so deeply ingrained. But it's vital to Gibran and his philosophy. True love, he suggests, stems from this internal overflow, from a place of wholeness within us. Only when we learn to love ourselves fully, when we are truly abundant inside, can we offer selfless love to others. Because then we feel no need to take or seek external validation. We just want to give. So this raises a really important question for all of us, for you listening. Do you agree that expectation-free love is even possible? And what might it truly look like in your life if you were to fully embrace it?
And it's really crucial to clarify here, I think, that Dewey's idea of selfless love doesn't mean ignoring our own needs. It's not about becoming a doormat. Rather, he suggests that this deeper love keeps us centered, connected to our soul. It allows us to understand our own authentic needs and also respect those of others, but without attachment or control. It's a delicate, powerful balance to master, isn't it? One that allows for self-preservation alongside selfless giving. It creates this harmonious, liberated experience of connection. 2. On marriage, the dance of two souls. Okay, so now that we've explored those profound depths of love, let's transition naturally into marriage. It's a bond often seen as, well, intricately intertwined with love. But do they mean the same thing? Is love always a prerequisite for every marriage? Or does Gibran offer maybe a broader, more nuanced perspective on this enduring human institution?
Al-Mustafa's perspective on marriage introduces this idea of a profound, enduring bond. Almost predestined, you might say. You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together even when the white wings of death scatter your days.
Mm.
Now, that speaks to a connection that isn't just physical or contractual, is it? It feels spiritual, enduring through all of life's highs and lows, maybe even beyond physical death itself. It really emphasizes this timeless connection, a deep resonance between two souls.
Right. But then, almost immediately after establishing this eternal connection, Gibran adds this crucial, maybe often overlooked condition. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. That's beautiful imagery. It implies marriage doesn't mean losing your identity, merging into one indistinguishable blob. It's about unity with individuality, a dance where each partner keeps their unique rhythm while moving in harmony together.
Exactly. To elaborate on that concept, Gibran sees marriage as two individuals living together in this profound union, yes, but simultaneously maintaining their independence, respecting each other's personal space. It's much like his analogy of the pillars of a temple. They stand apart, distinct, strong, yet together they support the same roof. They provide collective strength and purpose. So partners should maintain their separate identities, their individual passions, pursuits, while still supporting each other's shared life and goals.
And this insight directly addresses those common relationship pitfalls we see all around us, doesn't it? Where one partner tries to dominate or absorb the other, leading to, well, suffocation, not happiness. Gibran warns against this kind of suffocating closeness, this blurring of lines. He powerfully states, "Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls." Oh. That metaphor beautifully illustrates that love should be vast and free, like an expansive ocean connecting, not some rigid rope binding you together.
And he emphasizes a critical point stemming from this. Give each other your hearts, yes, offer your deepest selves, but do not seek to possess them. For only the hand of life can hold your hearts. This highlights the crucial role of freedom and respect in a marriage. It's acknowledging that true intimacy flourishes when there's individual autonomy. And it challenges us deeply. Is such a delicate balance truly possible today? In a world where control, expectation, merging often seem like the norm in romance, can we really embrace a love that liberates rather than restricts? Gibran offers another beautiful analogy to really underscore this importance of individuality within marriage. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. This suggests partners can, and probably should, have distinct interests, friends, hobbies. They can pursue separate paths of personal growth and still share a deeply joyful married life. Their individual notes, played uniquely, actually contribute to a richer, more complex, more vibrant symphony together.
That makes sense. In fact, when individuals have their own worlds, their own experiences, they inherently have more to share.
Yeah.
It enriches the relationship. New topics, fresh perspectives, diverse experiences. It isn't selfishness, as some might think. It's a necessary balance that prevents stagnation, fosters continuous growth for both people. It keeps the relationship dynamic alive.
Absolutely. And this profound balance, of course, it requires open communication, a deep understanding of each other's evolving needs, and just fundamental mutual respect. Marriage, in Gibran's view, it transforms from just an institution into this conscious partnership, where both individuals actively help each other grow rather than restricting each other's potential. They inspire each other to soar higher, each finding their unique fulfillment alongside their partner. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is your marital life truly like this? Does it foster growth, or does it maybe restrict it?
And one of the most common issues that comes up in marriage, one we've all likely seen or maybe even experienced, is that persistent attempt to change one another. We often fall into that trap. If only my partner would think like me, act like me, then everything would be perfect. Gibran dismisses this with such profound wisdom. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup.
Right. This means caring for each other's happiness, their needs, offering nourishment, support, but without imposing our preferences, without trying to mold them into our ideal. Every individual is unique, they have their own innate essence, and we must deeply respect those differences. True love, Gibran suggests, blossoms when we accept our partner just as they are, in their entirety, without trying to change them into some mold of our own desires or expectations.
Think of it like nurturing a plant. You don't force a rose bush to become an oak tree, right? You provide the right soil, water, sunlight, the best conditions, and then you step back. You allow it to grow naturally into its own unique, beautiful form. Similarly, in marriage, we should offer love, care, encouragement, provide that ideal environment, but never try to mold or reshape our partner into a version that just suits us better.
Attempting to change someone, even subtly, it sends this message of disapproval, of inadequacy, and that inevitably creates cracks in the relationship's foundation. Acceptance, though, that fosters genuine love, deep respect. It strengthens the bond from within. Now, this is immensely challenging, of course, because human nature often desires control. But Gibran argues that marriage is a partnership built on mutual reverence, not control. It thrives only when both partners respect, understand, and don't try to change each other. It's about nurturing each other's inherent nature, not dictating it.
That is a powerful challenge. So are you ready to accept it? To accept your partner in their entirety, strengths, weaknesses, quirks, all of it, to allow them the space, the freedom, the encouragement to simply be themselves authentically and fully.
Ultimately, Gibran paints this picture of marriage as not just a union of two people, but a sacred dance of two souls. It requires continuous, conscious effort to keep it vibrant and sacred. He guides us toward a partnership where two souls compose beautiful, harmonious music together, each playing its unique and respected part, contributing to a symphony far greater than themselves. 3. On children. Life's living arrows.
Okay, from the intricate dance of marriage, we move to the equally profound and often really misunderstood subject of children. We often view children as, well, as our possessions, maybe extensions of ourselves, things to mold and direct as we wish. Gibran completely transforms this perspective. He offers this radical shift in how we understand our relationship with them, liberating both the parent and the child.
He begins with an idea that can feel revolutionary, maybe even unsettling to many parents. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Wow. This profoundly emphasizes that children come through us, we act as vessels, but they are absolutely not ours to own or control. They belong to life itself, to the future. They carry their own unique trajectory, their own divine spark.
So our role, then, is radically redefined. It's not to possess, but to facilitate, to guide. We're here to give them birth, nurture them, prepare them to walk their own path, not a path we've carefully laid out for them. Gibran elaborates on this, making a really crucial distinction. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts.
Okay.
You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams.
That teaches us such a vital lesson. Don't impose our dreams, our unfulfilled desires, or even our fears upon them. Every child carries unique talent, a specific destiny, and inherent wisdom. Our task is simply to recognize and help them develop that inner potential, allowing them to unfurl their own inherent gifts, rather than trying to force them into some predefined mold we've created.
It's like that analogy of a tiny seed holding the potential for a mighty tree. As gardeners, we provide the right soil, water, sunlight, create the optimal conditions, and then we step back. We allow it to grow naturally to its full potential. Children are like these seeds. We must give them love, security, guidance, and then, most importantly, let them bloom freely into who they are authentically meant to be, not who we imagine they should be.
Now, does this radical idea mean no discipline, no boundaries whatsoever? Not at all. Gibran provides that powerful, often quoted metaphor that clarifies the parent's role. He likens parents to bows and children to living arrows. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far.
That metaphor holds such deep layered meaning, doesn't it? The bow gives direction, momentum, provides the initial push, but the arrow has its own destination, its own trajectory into the infinite. Similarly, parents impart fundamental values, teach essential life skills, prepare children for the world. But children must ultimately choose and walk their own paths. The archer representing God or nature or life itself bends the parents, and that bending often requires immense sacrifice, endurance, letting go, so the children may go swift and far, reaching their highest goals. And this bending, Gibran implies, should actually be a source of profound joy for parents, a selfless act for a greater universal purpose.
True parents, Gibran suggests, are those who find their deepest happiness in their children's success and flourishing. They genuinely sacrifice their own expectations or desires for their children's advancement. They don't bind their children with limitations or fear. Instead, they give them strong wings to fly, empowering them to pursue their unique journey and embrace their full potential.
And it's right here that Gibran highlights that common parental mistake, trying to control the arrow's destination, trying to micromanage every aspect of their child's life. This kind of over-control, it can either instill deep-seated fear and insecurity in children, or conversely, provoke strong rebellion.
Mm.
Ultimately, it stifles their natural growth and independence. Gibran warns specifically against this desire to direct rather than simply guide.
Our role, then, is to be a mere medium, an instrument through which life continues its magnificent journey. We have to cultivate a deep trust in our children and their inherent capabilities, giving them the space and freedom essential for their development, even if their chosen path differs wildly from our preconceived notions or expectations.
However, this emphasis on freedom doesn't mean license or an absence of guidance. Absolutely not. We must teach them right from wrong, the importance of responsibility, the consequences of their actions. But critically, this is only truly possible if we ourselves set a strong, consistent example. Children learn far more from our actions than from our sermons or rules. So it really compels us to ask ourselves, are we consistently good role models for our children? Are we embodying the values we wish to impart?
So, returning to that powerful image, are you ready to be that bow, ready to accept the necessary bending with joy and purpose, sending your arrows towards their own unique joy and destiny? This choice, this readiness to sacrifice your own vision for their authentic flourishing, it shapes the future of our children in the most profound and beautiful ways.
Let's just reiterate that profound point because it's so easily overlooked in the day-to-day of parenting. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. It's such a subtle yet vital distinction. We naturally love and care for our children. We want them on the right path, of course. But in this very desire, we often, perhaps unintentionally, impose our own ideas, blurring the lines between guidance and imposition.
We so often forget that each child is a unique individual. They have their own distinct thoughts, insights, their own understanding of the world. We must actively respect their thinking, listen deeply to their ideas, truly consider their perspectives, even if we don't immediately agree with them. This respect for their budding autonomy is just fundamental to their healthy development.
And allowing children to express their thoughts freely, even dissenting ones, it significantly boosts their confidence. It hones their decision-making abilities, skills that are absolutely crucial for their future independence. If we constantly tell them what's right or wrong, how to think, what to do, well, they'll never learn to think for themselves or cultivate the courage to make independent choices, for better or worse.
Ultimately, as parents, what do we want? We want our children to be confident, independent, capable of navigating their own lives, making their own informed decisions. This requires fostering an environment where they can express their views without fear of judgment or reprisal, where they are genuinely heard, and crucially, where they have the freedom to make mistakes. Because that is precisely how humans learn and grow. We should guide them on potential consequences, absolutely, but the final decision, within safe boundaries, should ideally be theirs to own.
This is a tremendous responsibility. And let's be honest, it's not an easy one for any parent. It requires overcoming our own fears. Fears for their safety, their success, their happiness, and trusting our children to learn from their own experiences, even the difficult ones that might cause us discomfort.
Gibran reminds us again, like a gentle but firm whisper, children come through us, but they are emphatically not ours. They are life's heritage, sacred trust, and we must honor that heritage by nurturing their true, unique selves. So do you feel ready to give this profound respect? To truly give them the wings to fly high, even if it means they fly far from your nest?
The prophet emphasizes that children's future is not ultimately in our hands, but in their own. Their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. That's a profoundly humbling realization, isn't it? Acknowledging our limited control of the vast unknown territory of their future. We prepare them, we equip them, but we cannot and should not create it for them.
And often, in our protective instincts, we try to shield our children from every difficulty. We inadvertently weaken them, deprive them of invaluable lessons. Life inherently has challenges, and it's precisely by facing them, by navigating adversity, that we grow strong and resilient. We must allow them to fall, to stumble, and then, crucially, learn to get back up on their own. Teaching them not just to learn from defeat, but also to handle success with grace and humility.
These aren't just theoretical points for a philosophical chat. These are critical life experiences every child must navigate on their path to becoming a capable adult. Our most powerful role, then, is to support and encourage them, assuring them of our unwavering presence and unconditional love as they journey, regardless of the detours.
So we have to ask ourselves candidly, Are we allowing our children to fight their own battles, to develop their own resilience? Or are we always standing as their shield, preventing them from learning crucial lessons? When we underestimate them, when we rush in to solve every problem, we inadvertently hinder their growth. But when we truly trust them, even with difficult decisions, they often surpass our expectations, showing strength we never knew they possessed. Gibran inspires this profound and liberating trust.
Our children, maybe because they're unburdened by our past, often instinctively know what is best for them. They are, in essence, citizens of the future. We just need to quiet our own anxieties, listen deeply to their voices, and help them fulfill their own dreams, not our projections onto them. Can we be this generous? Can we set aside our ego and truly become guides, mentors, supporters, rather than owners or directors?
If we accept this challenge, if we embrace this Gibranian vision of parenting, we will not only benefit our children beyond measure, we'll also become better humans ourselves. Raising children in this light isn't just a responsibility, it's a profound privilege that teaches selfless love, infinite patience, and offers a radically new perspective on life itself. It's really a journey of mutual growth. 4. On giving, the selfless embrace.
Okay, so moving from the intimate realm of family relationships, Al-Mustafa then delves into the art of giving. Now, that's a concept we often associate with, charity or philanthropy. But Gibran, in his inimitable style, offers a completely fresh perspective, challenging our usual notions of what it truly means to give.
He opens with a profound, maybe even unsettling statement. You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. This really challenges our common understanding, doesn't it? We often feel we've done a great deed by donating money, giving away old items, writing a check. But Gibran argues this is often superficial, just a transaction. True giving, he insists, involves offering our time, our energy, our authentic presence, our love, our deepest sympathy, the very essence of our being, our spirit.
Think about that in practical terms. Sitting with someone in profound sorrow, truly listening without judgment, offering encouragement to someone disheartened when they feel utterly lost, or just being present for someone lonely, holding space for their vulnerability. These are priceless acts. Money can't buy them, and they truly change lives, fostering deep connection, profound healing, lasting impact in ways material donations rarely can.
And what's particularly striking here is the immense, inexplicable joy you feel when you help someone selflessly, purely for the act of giving itself. This joy is beyond monetary value. It comes from the pure, unadulterated act of giving of yourself. It compels us to ask, are we truly ready to give of ourselves in this deeper, more vulnerable way? Do we genuinely have the time and energy to offer our presence? Or are we maybe too engrossed in our own problems, too distracted by our own wants to even see the profound needs around us?
Gibran challenges this self-absorption head-on. He reminds us that we are all intricately interconnected in the tapestry of life. When we truly help others from a place of selflessness, we are, in essence, helping ourselves. Because our own happiness, our own fulfillment, is inextricably intertwined with the well-being of those around us. It's a reciprocal relationship, even without explicit expectation.
But is giving just about helping others? Or does it have even deeper spiritual facets? Gibran elevates giving to an act of joy, not just duty or obligation, he says. Some give with joy, and that joy is their reward. And there are those who give with pain, and that pain is their baptism. This implies that the manner of giving, the intention and spirit behind it, is absolutely crucial. It profoundly shapes its spiritual impact and the experience for both the giver and receiver.
Yeah, this insight powerfully contrasts giving joyfully, spontaneously, with giving out of mere obligation or social pressure, or maybe for public show. Gibran suggests the latter is futile, just a hollow formality. A true giver, he implies, gives silently, without expectation of praise or return, without seeking display, like a flower naturally diffusing its fragrance simply because that's its nature, or a river flowing its life-giving water without seeking thanks or demanding anything back. It's this natural overflowing outpouring of spirit.
And this raises an important, deeply human question. Do we carry within us that fear of scarcity, that if we give too much, give of ourselves fully, we'll somehow run out? Gibran considers this fear baseless, even illusory. He reminds us that what life has given us ultimately belongs to life itself. By sharing, by giving freely, we express profound gratitude to life for its abundance, and in turn, life reciprocates, often giving us more than we could imagine. It's this continuous, virtuous cycle that begins with giving and naturally inspires further giving, creating an ever-expanding abundance.
And here's where it truly challenges our conventional wisdom. Gibran says, when you give, turn not away your face, nor be ashamed. For no one is more needful than he who comes to take of you, and no one is richer than he who comes to give you something. Wow, that's a profound reframe. It teaches us there's no inherent hierarchy between the giver and the receiver. We are all interdependent travelers in life, sometimes in a position to give, sometimes in a position to receive.
Exactly. He explains that if we have something to give today, it's highly likely we might need to receive tomorrow, or we've certainly received in the past. So when giving, there's no place for arrogance or superiority. And when receiving, there's no need for shame or embarrassment. It's simply the natural reciprocal flow of life, a dynamic exchange where everyone has their unique importance, contributes to the larger whole, makes the social fabric stronger.
Reflect on that. A giver's profound joy often depends directly on a receiver being there. The one who comes to receive actually offers us the invaluable opportunity to express our deepest humanity, our generosity, our compassion. Therefore, Gibran suggests, we should be grateful to them for providing that opportunity, not view them as lesser or indebted. This perspective, if we embraced it, could bring about significant transformative change in society, moving beyond viewing donations as favors or acts of pity towards recognizing shared human dignity.
Does this mean giving without any thought, indiscriminately? Gibran offers a clarification that points to an even higher state of consciousness. Life gives into life as you are but a witness. Therefore, when you give, think not that you are who gives or who receives. Simply give because it is your duty. These words might seem mysterious, but their essence is to detach from the ego of the giver and the receiver. The focus shifts entirely to the sacred act of giving itself, transcending the dualities of self and other. Overthinking these roles, Gibran implies, can detract from the true, selfless joy of giving.
So, are you ready to give in this manner? Without discrimination, without ego, simply from a place of innate duty and a profound understanding of universal interconnectedness. It's a significant challenge, I know, to shed these layers of conditioning, but accepting it helps us understand that profound paradoxical truth, that in truly giving, we undeniably receive far more than we give.
Gibran reminds us that there are truly no limits to what we can give, and that holding back is somehow unnatural. He powerfully states, "You often say, 'I would give, but only to the deserving.' The trees in your orchards say not so, nor the flocks in your pastures. They give that they may live, for to withhold is to perish." End quote. Trees give their fruit unconditionally, don't they, without judging who consumes it? Animals give their milk, their wool, their labor, simply because it's their nature, their way of living. It's vital to their existence and the ecosystem.
So when we stop giving, when we become miserly in spirit, when we hoard our resources or our love, Gibran argues, we starve our own souls. We deny ourselves a profound joy and abundance that only true giving brings. And when we start judging who is worthy of our generosity, we're basically usurping a divine role, trying to play God. We too have received so much without being worthy by any external measure, simply by being alive.
Giving, in this Gibranian sense, isn't just a moral imperative, it's a fundamental law of nature, a principle of karma, a universal flow. Those who give abundantly, freely, without expectation, receive manifold in return, often from unexpected sources. Do you believe in this law, this inherent reciprocity of the universe? If so, Gibran suggests you will never hesitate to give. You'll always be eager to help others, share your resources, knowing that true abundance flows from an open hand and a generous heart.
And when you embrace this way of living, you will genuinely find that you never lack anything in life. You'll always have what you need and more, not just materially, but spiritually, emotionally. Because life itself is generous, and it favors those who are generous in spirit. So are you ready to be a living, breathing part of life's generosity? To be like that tree that gives its fruit unconditionally, a boundless source of life?
If you are, then Gibran suggests you have truly mastered the art of giving, and this profound art will fill your life with unshakable joy and boundless abundance. Giving, then, transcends mere material exchange. It becomes a profound spiritual experience, connecting us to the very flow of life itself, a pathway to inner freedom. 5. On work. Love made visible.
Okay, after exploring the essence of selfless giving, Al-Mustafa turns his profound gaze to work. Now that's an integral, often inescapable part of our daily lives. For many, work is simply a necessity, right? A means to an end. But does it hold a deeper meaning, maybe a higher purpose? Gibran predictably offers a truly fresh perspective that challenges our common understanding of labor and transforms it into something, well, something sacred.
He begins with a profound statement that elevates work way beyond mere drudgery. You work that you may keep pace with the earth and the soul of the earth. For to be idle is to become a stranger unto the seasons, and to step out of life's profession that marches in majestic and proud submission towards the infinite. This reveals that work isn't just about earning money, it's a fundamental way to connect with the very flow of life, to contribute to the ongoing act of creation, and to align with the grand rhythms of nature and the universe itself.
That's a powerful reframing. So Gibran suggests that idleness isn't just laziness, it actually cuts us off from life, from purpose. It renders us adrift, disconnected. But work, when it's imbued with intention, it energizes us, gives us deep purpose, fosters self-respect. It anchors us firmly within that majestic, purposeful procession of existence. It's an essential part of being alive.
Have you ever experienced that deep, intrinsic satisfaction? The kind that comes from doing a task with full dedication, full effort, maybe losing yourself in the process? That satisfaction is truly priceless. It stems from genuinely loving what you do, or at least loving the act of doing it well. Gibran teaches us to view work not as a burden or a curse, but as a profound opportunity. An opportunity to express ourselves, hone our abilities, and bring about positive, meaningful change in the world, however small it might seem.
But this raises a critical, very real question for many of us. What about work we actively don't enjoy? Tasks we perform out of sheer obligation, jobs that feel mundane, uninspired. Gibran's words on this are stark, challenging. They push us to confront our apathy. If you cannot work with love but only with distaste, it is better that you should leave your work.
Quote.
For if you bake bread with indifference, you bake a bitter bread that feeds but half a man's hunger. And if you squeeze grapes grudgingly, your grudge distills a poison in the wine.
Wow. Those words compel us to reflect profoundly on our attitude towards our work, no matter what it is. Do we treat it merely as a duty, a necessary evil? Or do we truly pour our heart and soul into it? When we fully commit ourselves to our work, when we infuse it with presence and care, Gibran suggests it transcends mere labor. It becomes an art form, an act of worship, a profound source of true joy and fulfillment. The quality of our inner state, he argues, directly impacts the quality of our outer output.
This brings us back to that critical question. How can one truly love their work, especially if it isn't their chosen profession or if it feels repetitive and uninspired? How do we find that spark?
Well, what's profoundly insightful here is Gibran's powerful assertion that provides the answer. Work is love made visible. This is a truly transformative idea. We often compartmentalize work and love, see them as separate spheres, but Gibran asserts that when we infuse our work with love, with mindful attention, genuine care, it transforms from the ordinary to the extraordinary. It stops being just a job and becomes a spiritual discipline, an outward expression of our deepest selves, our connection to life.
Think about an artist completely absorbed in their creation, losing all sense of time, external distractions, pouring their entire soul into their masterpiece. That's precisely why their art is so beautiful, so impactful, so resonant. We too, Gibran implies, should approach our work with that kind of dedication and love, regardless of our profession. Whether we're farmers, teachers, doctors, cleaners, every task is important, and every task truly can be performed with love, transforming it into an act of creation.
And when we work with love, not only do we inherently produce higher quality work benefiting others, but we also find profound personal happiness and fulfillment. Our work doesn't drain us. Paradoxically, it energizes us, becomes a source of vitality. It doesn't create stress. It brings a profound sense of peace and flow. But this is only truly possible if we grasp the intrinsic significance of our work, understand how our efforts, no matter how humble, contribute positively to the lives of others. That makes our efforts deeply meaningful.
Think of the farmer who lovingly cultivates grain, knowing it will feed millions. The teacher who passionately educates, shaping countless futures. The doctor who treats with genuine compassion, granting new life, relief from suffering. And even the cleaner who diligently maintains cleanliness, contributing directly to a healthy, harmonious environment. Every job truly has its inherent value, is essential for society's intricate functioning. We should take pride in our work, perform it with utmost integrity and love. But is this practical? In today's often ruthless competitive world where speed, efficiency, profit often seem to dominate over passion and purpose.
Gibran, though, encourages us to transcend those external pressures. He reminds us that when we work with love, we don't just benefit others, we benefit ourselves most profoundly. Work performed with love brings this incomparable sense of self-satisfaction, a deep inner peace. And there's genuinely no greater wealth than that. So I ask you, are you ready to actively discover love in your work? To transform it into a spiritual practice that not only enriches your outer world, but deeply nourishes your inner being?
This next point truly challenges our assumptions about time and focus. Gibran's poetic words paint another vivid picture. When you work, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turns into music. That's a beautiful metaphor. It means when we're fully immersed, completely present in our work, We become one with the natural flow of time. Our work itself becomes a rhythm, a melody, an organic expression. We're liberated from past worries, future anxieties, living solely and completely in the present moment, where true creativity and joy reside.
Have you ever experienced time just disappearing? When you're deeply engrossed in something you genuinely love, something that captivates your full attention, that's precisely because your mind is completely absorbed, not wandering elsewhere, not distracted by external chatter. And a focused mind, Gibran implies, is inherently a calm and happy mind. He encourages us to actively seek and achieve this state of flow, this deep absorption. He says we should work with such dedication that we lose ourselves in it, becoming one with the task itself, becoming the flute through which life plays its music.
And when we achieve this state of profound absorption, our work stops being just work. It transforms into meditation, a living form of prayer, a deeply spiritual act of presence. How then is this state truly achieved? Gibran doesn't offer a specific step-by-step technique, but rather advises adopting a fundamental mindset: acceptance, presence, unwavering dedication. When we are truly committed to our work, to doing it well and with care, we naturally become absorbed.
This absorption, the state of flow, inherently fosters creativity. It allows us to generate new ideas, solve complex problems with unexpected ease, innovate. Our work then stops being a chore and becomes a kind of play, a captivating challenge we embrace with enthusiasm and joy. Consider your own life. Is there any work or activity that you approach this way, with such dedication and joy that time seems to vanish? If not, Gibran suggests you can begin today by consciously trying to change your perspective and approach, even to the most mundane tasks.
And if you find no immediate joy in the work itself, Gibran's philosophy suggests seeking out aspects of your work that allow you to benefit others, that add genuine value to their lives. Because when we consciously contribute to the well-being of others, we almost invariably find a profound sense of happiness and purpose within ourselves. So the ultimate question for us today is, are you ready to make your work a flute from which the music of life, a beautiful and purposeful melody, truly emerges?
Gibran also emphasizes the importance of work not just for ourselves in the present, but for future generations, for the collective human journey. He offers this profound and inspiring thought. You have been told that work is a curse and toil a misfortune, but I tell you that when you work, you fulfill a part of Earth's furthest dream, assigned to you when that dream was born.
Wow. Those words powerfully remind us of the larger, often unseen, purpose of our work. Whatever we do, no matter how small or specialized, it contributes to building the future, brick by brick, idea by idea. When we construct a home, we're not just laying bricks, we're building a sanctuary, a foundation for future families, future memories. When we write a book, we're not just putting words on paper, we're presenting ideas that will inspire, challenge, shape coming generations.
Every task, no matter its scale, has a far-reaching ripple effect. We should be deeply conscious of this profound impact. We should strive to perform work that genuinely fills us with pride, work that we can conscientiously leave as a positive legacy for our future generations. This requires foresight, rising above immediate gains or personal convenience, and consciously considering the long-term impact of our work on society, on the environment, on the future's trajectory.
It's a great responsibility, yes, but also an incredible privilege. When we approach our work with this spirit, with this conscious awareness of its larger purpose, our work transcends a mere job. It transforms into a personal mission, a deep-seated passion, an expression of our higher self. So I ask you, is there such a mission, such a driving purpose in your work? Are you striving in your own unique way to make the world a better place through your work, even in a small capacity?
If so, Gibran would undoubtedly see you as a true follower of his wisdom. If not, if that deeper meaning feels elusive right now, know that you can begin today to actively seek that greater purpose in your work. Because when we connect our work to a greater selfless purpose, our lives become inherently meaningful, deeply fulfilling, truly joyful, and there is no greater achievement than a life lived with profound meaning. 6. On joy and sorrow, the unmasked truth.
All right, after exploring the purpose and beauty of work, Al-Mustafa turns his attention to two experiences everyone undergoes universally: joy and sorrow. But are they distinct entities, perpetually at odds, or are they maybe two inseparable sides of the same coin? Al-Mustafa's perspective challenges our conventional understanding, revealing this profound and enlightening intertwining.
He states, with a touch of paradox, your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. This sounds contradictory at first, doesn't it? Yet it holds a deep, resonant truth. Joy and sorrow, Gibran suggests, are inseparable, like day and night, two poles that follow each other in life's continuous cycle. We instinctively often seek only joy and try to avoid sorrow at all costs. But Gibran asserts this is not only impossible, but also a misunderstanding of life's fundamental nature.
Yeah, it becomes clearer when you consider how what brings us immense joy can also bring profound, even unbearable sorrow. For instance, deep love for another can offer profound happiness, but when a loved one is lost, that same love, by its very nature, can inflict unbearable pain and grief. Similarly, the elation of success is often intimately linked to the disappointment of failure. The connection, once you really examine it, is undeniable. They're intrinsically linked.
Gibran further illuminates this connection, stating, "When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which is giving you sorrow that is giving you joy." Quote, "When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight." These lines teach us a vital lesson, that both joy and sorrow are fleeting, changeable, constantly shifting, like the tide. They are not permanent states, but dynamic experiences.
So Gibran suggests we shouldn't be excessively elated by joy, clinging to it like it will last forever, nor should we become overly despondent by sorrow, believing it will never end. We have to learn to view both with a profound sense of equanimity. But is this easy? Gosh, no. When we're deep in sorrow, it feels like it will never end. When in the throes of joy, we desperately wish it would last forever. How do we escape this illusion, this constant emotional swing, and find more stable ground?
Gibran leads us toward a deeper state of balance where joy and sorrow don't unduly disturb us. We become witnesses to them rather than being consumed by them. He offers a very positive, transformative outlook on sorrow itself. Your sorrow is but the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. We often perceive sorrow as an enemy, a curse, something to be avoided. But Gibran says it is in fact essential, a necessary catalyst, because it matures us, strengthens us, helps us crack open our previous limitations, and understand life's deeper meaning, its interconnectedness.
Have you ever noticed that? After enduring a great difficulty, navigating profound sorrow, you often emerge. Well, wiser, more compassionate, more tolerant. This happens precisely because sorrow provides this invaluable opportunity to look within, recognize our weaknesses, shed our illusions, discover our inherent strengths and resilience. It teaches us, often painfully, that nothing in life is permanent, and that we must cultivate the inner fortitude to face any circumstance with courage and acceptance.
Now, this profound insight doesn't mean we should invite sorrow or wallow in it. Gibran suggests that when sorrow arrives, as it inevitably will, we should let it come, feel it fully, but crucially, don't allow it to dominate or define you. Like clouds that gather, pass overhead, eventually dissipate, so too does sorrow. We must simply be patient, cultivate faith, and trust that joy will inevitably follow sorrow, just as the sun follows the storm. Can you awaken this faith within yourself? Can you view sorrow not as an enemy, but as a wise teacher, come to impart an important, if uncomfortable, lesson about life and yourself? If so, you'll cease to fear sorrow and accept it as a vital, enriching part of life's journey.
Okay, so if we are to accept sorrow in this way, should we also treat joy as a passing guest? Not clinging too tightly. Gibran absolutely says yes, because clinging too tightly to joy, trying to bottle it or make it permanent, will only cause greater sorrow when it inevitably departs. So, what is the true path then? It is the path of non-attachment, of being a detached yet fully present witness to life's continuous ebb and flow, allowing both joy and sorrow to simply be.
And what's truly fascinating and liberating here is Gibran's beautiful analogy for this balance. You are the scales on which your joy and your sorrow swing. Only when you are empty are you at standstill and balanced. This means when we don't identify ourselves with our joy or sorrow, when we remain detached from their fluctuating nature, when we are empty of clinging, that's when we experience true, unshakable peace and profound balance.
If we consider ourselves inherently happy or sad, we're basically sitting heavily on one pan of the scale, causing imbalance, unrest. Joy and sorrow are like waves on the vast ocean of our mind. If we get carried away by them, dive into their depths without awareness, we become restless, agitated. But if we can learn to sit on the shore and merely observe them, acknowledging their presence but not identifying with them, we remain calm, centered. This state of witnessing is the key. It leads us beyond the immediate, transient experience of joy and sorrow.
And beyond joy and sorrow, Gibran suggests, lies Ananda, pure, unconditioned bliss. Unlike joy, which depends on external circumstances and is therefore fleeting, impermanent, bliss originates from within, from our true nature. It's eternal, ever present. Gibran guides us towards this eternal bliss, our true nature, a state of profound, undisturbed inner peace that underlies all experience.
So how can this witnessing state be cultivated in our daily lives? Gibran implies it's not by renouncing the world or escaping life's experiences. Rather, we must learn to be non-attached while actively living within the world, experience its full spectrum of joys and sorrows. It's an art, a spiritual skill, learned through consistent practice, and it's best achieved through mindful presence and meditation.
Right. In meditation, we become acutely aware of our thoughts, our emotions. We learn to observe them without judgment, without clinging, without pushing away. Gradually, we detach our identification from them. We begin to understand that we are not our thoughts or our emotions, we are the conscious awareness, the one witnessing them all. When this profound understanding deepens, we become increasingly unaffected by the transient nature of joy and sorrow, accepting every life experience with profound equanimity, inner peace. So I ask you, are you ready for this journey? To discover the bliss that truly transcends joy and sorrow, that is your true nature.
Gibran also reminds us that joy and sorrow never arrive alone. They're always intimately intertwined, two sides of the same coin, two inseparable companions. He says, they are inseparable. When one sits at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed.
Those evocative lines encourage us to accept the complete reality of life, not just the parts we prefer. We often mistakenly think we can choose only joy and discard sorrow entirely. But this is impossible, a fundamental misunderstanding. Life is a complete, indivisible package. If we accept one, we must by necessity accept the other. If we try to avoid one, we inadvertently lose the capacity to fully experience the other as well.
Indeed. If there were no sorrow, no challenge, no darkness, would we truly appreciate joy? Light, ease? Probably not. Because sorrow, in its own way, teaches us the profound value, the preciousness of joy. Just as light has no profound meaning without darkness, joy has no true depth or appreciation without the counterpoint of sorrow. They define and enrich each other.
Therefore, Gibran teaches, we should not dread sorrow, but rather consider it an essential, perhaps even sacred, part of life's curriculum. When we understand this truth deeply, we learn to respect both joy and sorrow for their unique contributions to our growth. We neither boast excessively in joy nor lament endlessly in sorrow. Instead, we see them as the vibrant, essential colors of life that complete our unique and beautiful picture, creating depth and meaning.
So as you look at the canvas of your own life, are you ready to adorn your life's picture with both these colors? Are you ready to embrace both joy and sorrow as essential, valuable components of a rich and full life? If so, Gibran suggests you have truly learned the art of living. And this profound art will keep you calm, centered, balanced in every situation, regardless of external circumstances.
You won't be perturbed by life's inevitable ups and downs, but will, paradoxically, come to enjoy them, knowing that they're all temporary, fleeting experiences, and that true, unshakable happiness resides deep within you, beyond all these transient external experiences. Let us seek that inner happiness, that inner peace, and fill our lives with the beautiful, dynamic balance of joy and sorrow. For this balance, Gibran implies, leads us to true peace and ultimate liberation. 7. On freedom, the inner throne.
Following his profound insights on joy and sorrow, Al-Mustafa explores the concept of freedom. A yearning cherished by all humanity, isn't it? We instinctively yearn to be free, liberated from constraints, from bonds of all kinds. But do we truly understand what freedom means? Is it merely liberation from external shackles, a tyrant, restrictive laws, difficult circumstances? Or does it hold a deeper, more profound significance, perhaps? An internal one. Gibran's insights on this might profoundly surprise you.
He begins with a powerful, almost self-incriminating statement. And if it is a despot whom you would dethrone, see first that his throne is not built within you.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a stark, direct challenge. We often expend immense energy, righteous anger, fighting external tyrants, oppressive systems, external restrictions. But we often fail completely to see, let alone confront, the tyrants and bonds that we ourselves have allowed to be built and reign within our own minds and hearts.
And what precisely are these inner bonds? These insidious internal despots. Gibran suggests they are our fears, our incessant worries, our ingrained habits, our insatiable desires, our attachments, and perhaps most powerfully, our ego. Until we are truly free from these internal constraints, he argues, we cannot experience genuine, profound freedom. No matter how outwardly liberated our circumstances may seem, it's fundamentally an inside job, a battle fought within.
Have you ever observed individuals who possess every outward form of freedom? Immense wealth, widespread fame, undeniable power, vast physical liberty, yet they remain deeply unhappy, restless, perpetually seeking something more, often trapped in anxiety or addiction. This is precisely because they haven't broken free from their inner bonds. They're still slaves to their fears, prisoners of their insatiable desires, captives of their own ego. Gibran guides us relentlessly towards this inner freedom, urging us to first courageously identify and then effectively combat these internal adversaries that hold us hostage.
And this inner battle for liberation, it's undeniably not easy. It demands immense courage to face uncomfortable truths, unwavering patience with our own imperfections, and a profound capacity for honest self-reflection. It's a continuous process of self-discovery, disciplined awareness, letting go. So I ask you directly, are you prepared for this inner battle? Are you truly ready to confront the inner demons, the hidden despots that prevent your genuine freedom? If so, Gibran assures us you are taking the essential first step towards an authentic and lasting liberation.
Now, how precisely can these internal bonds, these self-imposed limitations, be broken? Gibran offers some guidance that might seem paradoxical at first glance. When you seek freedom, you see it as a goal and a fulfillment, but I say unto you that when you long for freedom, that longing becomes a bond to you.
Right. Those lines indeed may seem contradictory to our intuition. We're taught to believe longing for freedom is good, a noble pursuit. But Gibran says even this longing, this fervent desire, becomes a bond. Why? Because when we fervently long for something, we become inextricably tied to it, preoccupied with its attainment or conversely with its perceived lack. And as long as we are constantly preoccupied, constantly striving for something outside of our present moment, how can we possibly be truly free in this very moment?
True freedom, Gibran suggests, comes when we are liberated not just from external constraints, but from the very bondage of desires, from the incessant yearning for what is not. It comes when we learn to be content and whole in all circumstances, not just when certain external conditions are met. But does this mean we should stop striving for anything? Cease all ambition? No. Gibran advises us to strive and act in the world, engage fully, but critically, not to cling to the results of our actions. We must learn to accept both success and failure with profound equanimity, understanding our worth isn't tied to outcomes. When we adopt this detached yet engaged mindset, we are freed from the bondage of desires and experience true, unshakable freedom.
And in a similar vein, Gibran implies excessive talk about freedom, endlessly debating it, theorizing about it. That can also become a subtle chain. We can get entangled in words, intellectual concepts, losing touch with the actual lived experience of freedom itself. Freedom, he suggests, is not an intellectual concept or an abstract ideal. It's a living, visceral experience, felt, embodied, lived in the present moment. This profound experience, he suggests, is attained not through endless talk, but when we quiet our minds, observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, and crucially, don't identify with them as us.
So I invite you to consider, do you desire to experience this silent internal freedom? To go beyond the noise of words and external longings and truly feel the profound peace that is the intrinsic foundation of true freedom? If so, Gibran urges, you must delve deeply within yourself and discover the profound silence that is always present, patiently waiting beneath the incessant chatter and demands of the mind.
This next insight from Gibran truly challenges our notions of freedom by embracing, rather than denying, life's difficulties. He offers this profound, almost paradoxical vision. You shall be free indeed when your days are not without a care, nor your nights without a want or a grief, but rather when these things girdle your life, and yet you rise above them naked and unbound.
That is a beautiful and deeply liberating metaphor. Our daily worries, our nightly needs, our moments of grief, these are inherent, unavoidable parts of life. We can't truly escape them. However, Gibran teaches we don't have to identify with them, allow them to define us, or be crushed by them. Just as we change clothes daily, putting on different garments for different occasions, we should view these worries and needs as temporary, changeable external circumstances. When we adopt this detached yet present perspective, they lose their power to enslave us. We become mindful witnesses to them, observing their transient nature, remaining unaffected by their grip.
This state is akin to a skilled swimmer in water who remains buoyant, doesn't drown, gracefully moving through the currents. Similarly, Gibran suggests, we must learn to exist amidst life's worries and needs, fully engaged, yet without being consumed or dragged down by them. This, he asserts, is possible only when we consciously train our minds to live authentically in the present moment, because most worries are either projections of the future or ruminations on the past. In the true, unadulterated present moment, there is no worry, only pure, direct experience, untainted by the mind's commentary or judgment.
So how can we learn to live more fully in this powerful present moment? Gibran implies the best way is through the practice of full awareness in every task. When we eat, simply eat tasting, smelling, experiencing fully. When we walk, simply walk, feeling the ground beneath our feet. When we talk, simply talk, listening deeply, speaking consciously. The key is to not let your mind wander, to bring it back again and again to the task at hand. This mindful practice gradually calms and focuses the mind, teaching us to live entirely in the present moment. And when we learn to do this consistently, we are freed from the very bondage of worries and needs, experiencing an unparalleled sense of true inner freedom.
Would you embrace this powerful practice in your life? Do you deeply desire the profound freedom that comes from living fully and consciously in the present moment, rather than being pulled by past regrets or future anxieties? If so, Gibran urges, you must begin to be mindful starting today, right now, in your very next breath.
Gibran also warns that, ironically, in the very name of freedom, we sometimes create new invisible bonds for ourselves, he states. And if it is a law you would abolish, see first that you yourself did not write that law upon your own forehead.
This means that often the very rules, the very laws we wish to break, the constraints we rail against, they are in fact our own creations, the insidious result of our own ingrained thinking, our own limiting beliefs. We become prisoners of our own deeply held assumptions, our prejudices, our conditioned patterns. And then, without realizing it, we blame the external world for our lack of freedom. But until we fundamentally change our own thinking, until we dismantle those self-imposed internal laws, we cannot be truly free, no matter how many external laws or systems we attempt to change.
True freedom, Gibran concludes, is ultimately the freedom of thought, the radical liberation of the mind itself. This profound freedom comes only when we break the self-made cage of our own minds, when we step outside our limited habitual thinking, and when we learn to see everything, ourselves, others, the world, from a fresh, unbiased, unconditioned perspective. It's a complete paradigm shift.
How, then, is this achieved, this breaking of mental cages? One powerful way Gibran implies is by consistently asking questions, questioning ourselves deeply, challenging our own most cherished beliefs, questioning the unspoken rules set by society and tradition. When we courageously ask genuine questions, we begin to truly think, to search beyond the obvious, discover new, often uncomfortable truths. And it is this very quest, this relentless inquiry, that leads us directly towards freedom.
But asking profound questions, especially of ourselves, requires immense courage. For sometimes the truth revealed is bitter, unsettling, difficult to accept. Yet if we truly desire genuine freedom, we must cultivate and show this courage. We must step out of our intellectual comfort zone and confront the ideas, the beliefs, the internal structures that challenge us most deeply, embracing intellectual bravery and vulnerability.
So I ask you, are you ready to accept this profound challenge? To courageously break the cage of your own thoughts, question your deepest assumptions, and truly liberate your mind? If so, Gibran assures us, you are already very close to true freedom, perhaps closer than you ever realized. Because freedom is not something to be found externally. It resides inherently within us, a birthright. We simply need the courage and awareness to discover it.
And when we finally discover it, when we awaken to this innate freedom, we realize with a profound sense of recognition that we were always free. We simply weren't aware of it. Let us awaken that awareness, that inner knowing, and celebrate our boundless inner freedom, allowing it to inform every aspect of our lives. 8. On reason and passion, the soul's battlefield.
Okay, after exploring the profound concept of freedom, Al-Mustafa delves into yet another crucial balance in life, that of reason and passion. Reason represents our intellect, our logic, our ability to analyze, plan. Passion, on the other hand, embodies our emotions, desires, our raw energy, our driving force. Both undeniably are essential for our lives, yet we often find ourselves struggling to balance them, don't we? Sometimes reason dominates, stifling spontaneity. Other times, passion blinds reason, leading to impulsive or destructive actions. What does Al-Mustafa, with his profound wisdom, say about this delicate, often turbulent balance within us?
Al-Mustafa vividly portrays this constant, inherent struggle within us. It's a core aspect of the human condition. Your soul is oftentimes a battlefield upon which your reason and your judgment wage war against your passion and your appetite. That powerful imagery perfectly captures the internal discord. Our reason guides us towards what's right and wrong, advocating for prudence, control, thoughtful consideration, while our passion urges us forward, encourages risk-taking, pushes us to seize opportunities, invites us to savor the very essence and intensity of life without reservation.
It's a classic dilemma. Consider a life ruled solely by cold, calculating reason. It would likely be dull, uninspired, maybe overly cautious, lacking vitality and color. Conversely, a life governed only by uncontrolled, unchecked passion. Well, that would undoubtedly be chaotic, destructive, likely leading to regret and burnout. Therefore, achieving a dynamic balance, a creative synthesis between the two, is absolutely vital for a flourishing life. But how can this balance truly be achieved? How can we transform reason and passion from adversaries into powerful, harmonious allies within our own soul?
Gibran offers a profound answer to this question, acting as a potential peacemaker for our inner conflict. Would that I could be the peacemaker in your soul, that I might transform the discord and the rivalry of your elements into oneness and melody. But how shall I, unless you yourselves be also the peacemakers, nay, the lovers of all your elements?
That is a deep, truly insightful message. Gibran suggests we can establish peace, a profound inner harmony, between our reason and passion only when we consciously accept, deeply love, and fundamentally respect both these intrinsic parts of ourselves. We have to understand they are not our enemies or opposing forces, but rather our natural complementary friends, each essential in helping us live a complete, vibrant, purposeful life. Reason in this partnership provides clear direction and discernment. Passion gives us the vital energy, the fuel, to move in that chosen direction with enthusiasm and drive.
Think of it using that timeless analogy. Just as a boat needs both a rudder, reason for precise direction, and a sail, passion for powerful propulsion, so too does the vessel of life require both to navigate its vast ocean effectively. If only the rudder is present, the boat won't move forward. It'll just stay in place, endlessly thinking. If it only has a sail, it'll be directionless, tossed about by every wind, maybe drifting aimlessly or crashing. Gibran teaches us the profound art of skillfully balancing and integrating these two forces. How would it feel to navigate your life's vessel with the conscious, harmonious help of both reason and passion, sailing towards your true north?
This next passage from Gibran truly articulates the ideal dynamic harmony between these two forces. It's a profound vision. Your reason, when it reigns alone, is a force confined, and your passion, when it is left unguarded, is a flame that burns to its own destruction. Therefore, let your soul exalt your reason to the heights of passion that it may sing, and let it direct your passion with reason, that your passion may live through its own daily resurrection, and like the phoenix rise above its own ashes.
That is a beautiful and deeply empowering conception. Gibran suggests reason and passion shouldn't oppose each other, but rather complement and elevate each other. Reason should lovingly guide passion, providing wisdom and foresight. Passion should courageously energize reason, igniting purpose and drive. When the sacred union occurs, our lives truly become a song, a vibrant dance full of vitality and meaning. We're inspired to fulfill our deepest dreams with boundless energy, yet we remain mindful of what's right and wrong, of consequences, ethical considerations. We take necessary risks, but we don't act foolishly or recklessly. We express our emotions authentically, but we don't harm ourselves or others.
This very balance, this exquisite harmony, that's what ultimately helps us live a successful, profoundly happy, deeply fulfilling life. However, achieving it, as we know, is not easy. It requires profound self-awareness to recognize when either reason or passion is dominating or becoming unbalanced, and then consciously striving moment by moment to bring them together in a loving embrace. It's like a skilled musician blending different notes to create a complex, melodious tune. We too must blend the diverse notes of our reason and passion to compose the beautiful, unique music of our lives.
So, are you ready to courageously become the composer of your own life's music? To consciously harmonize the powerful, sometimes discordant notes of your reason and passion, allowing them to create a fulfilling, purposeful melody? If so, Gibran suggests, you must learn to listen deeply to your inner voice, your intuition, let it be your ultimate guide. For your heart often knows what's right for you, and your reason knows how to achieve it practically. When these two fundamental aspects of your being truly unite, Gibran implies, miracles of creation and fulfillment can truly unfold.
Gibran offers yet another powerful example from nature to illustrate this necessary balance, just as a ship needs both a rudder and a sail to navigate successfully. Our soul, our very being, needs both reason and passion. If a ship only has a rudder, it won't move forward. It'll just stay put, maybe endlessly planning but never embarking. If it only has a sail, it'll be directionless, pushed about by every gust, perhaps achieving speed but ending up way off course. Similarly, if our lives are solely guided by reason, we won't get anywhere. We'll just keep thinking, analyzing, over-planning. And if we live only by untamed passion, we'll wander aimlessly, maybe down the wrong path, succumbing to fleeting impulses.
Therefore, Gibran insists we must consciously bring these two essential forces together. We must make reason our wise, steady guide and passion our vibrant, inexhaustible fuel. It's a dynamic team effort where both players are equally important, equally respected. We shouldn't prioritize one over the other, but rather recognize, respect, and skillfully utilize both for their distinct yet complementary roles in navigating life's journey.
Yet so often in our daily lives, we find ourselves ignoring our reason and following only our passion, succumbing to impulse. Or conversely, suppressing our passion and listening only to the cold logic of reason, stifling our natural vitality. In both scenarios, we become unbalanced, fragmented, and consequently miss out on the full joy, the richness, the purpose of life. Gibran wants us to consciously avoid this imbalance, to actively establish and maintain harmony between our reason and passion so that we can live a truly full, meaningful, integrated life. So I ask you, are you ready to courageously establish this harmony within yourself? Ready to skillfully navigate the magnificent ship of your life with both rudder and sail in perfect concert? Gibran also reminds us with profound spiritual insight that both reason and passion are ultimately gifts from the divine, inherent aspects of our spiritual blueprint, and we should honor both equally. He says, in your God ascending are your reason and your passion, beloved. And they are both guests, and they are both hosts to be neither honored above the other. Those lines teach us not to reject or demonize any part of ourselves, be it our logical intellect or our deepest emotions. Both are integral to our existence, our full human experience, and each has its respective vital role to play. When we suppress our reason, we lose our vital decision-making ability, our capacity for discernment, wise action. And when we suppress our passion, we lose our life force, our vitality, our creativity, our joy.
Therefore, Gibran suggests, we must allow both reason and passion to express themselves freely, to flourish. But crucially, always within a sacred boundary. And what precisely is that boundary? It is the boundary of love, of compassion for ourselves and others, and of profound respect for all life. When our reason and passion are consciously guided and tempered by these core values, they can never be destructive. They will always be creative, constructive, life-affirming. They will make us better individuals and teach us to live in harmony with ourselves and with all others.
So I challenge you. Would you align your reason and passion with these universal values, with love, compassion, respect? Would you truly make them the two powerful, harmonious wings of your soul, guiding you consistently towards truth, beauty, goodness in all your endeavors in every aspect of your life? With so, Gibran implies, you have understood life's greatest secret, that true strength lies in profound balance, true peace resides in balance, and true, unshakable joy is found in that magnificent balance.
Let us all strive to establish this dynamic balance in our lives and make our reason and passion our closest, most trusted friends. For when they become unified and harmonious, life truly transforms into a continuous celebration, a symphony of purpose and joy. 9. On self-knowledge. The treasure within.
Okay, after exploring the vital balance of reason and passion, Al-Mustafa turns his profound attention to self-knowledge, the ancient universal quest of knowing oneself. This perhaps is life's greatest, most essential exploration. We dedicate so much effort to understanding countless things in the external world, accumulating information. Yet often, paradoxically, we fail to truly know ourselves. Who are we beyond our roles, our labels? Why are we here? What is our true purpose? These fundamental questions often trouble us, sitting restlessly beneath the surface. Gibran offers a new, deeply insightful direction for this ultimate journey of self-knowledge.
He begins with a profound statement about the source of this inner wisdom. Your heart knows in silence the secrets of the days and the nights, but your ears yearn for the sound of your heart's knowledge. This signifies, with beautiful clarity, that the ultimate source of self-knowledge lies inherently within us, residing in the quiet depths of our heart, our deepest intuition. Our heart, Gibran suggests, already knows everything we seek, but we often cannot hear its subtle, ancient voice because our busy, chattering mind creates too much noise. A constant clamor of thoughts, emotions, external desires, effectively drowning out the gentle, profound whispers of our heart.
So what then can we concretely do to quiet this incessant mental clamor and learn to listen to our heart's profound voice? Gibran offers a clear, timeless path of introspection. You shall seek in words the knowledge of your soul, even as you interpret your dreams. You shall sit in the peace of your heart and listen to its voice.
These words clearly lead us toward the transformative practices of meditation and silence. When we choose to sit quietly, consciously observe our thoughts without judgment, gently focus on our breath, our agitated mind gradually calms down, and we begin to draw closer to the silent, knowing space of our heart. And when we truly approach our heart in this way, with intention and presence, we arrive at the very gateway to self-knowledge, where an innate, profound inner wisdom patiently resides, waiting to be rediscovered.
So I ask you, with a sense of hopeful invitation, would you like to knock on this internal door, to courageously discover the priceless treasure hidden deep within you, waiting to be unearthed far beyond the superficial layers of your identity? If so, Gibran urges, you must first understand and embrace the profound power of silence and cultivate the courage to truly delve into your inner self, beyond the noise and demands of the external world.
Gibran further emphasizes that the knowledge hidden within your soul, well, it transcends words, it transcends intellectual understanding. It is an experience, a profound realization, a deep feeling that can only be felt and lived, not articulated or conceptualized in language. Just as you cannot physically see the wind but can only feel its undeniable presence and effect, you cannot capture self-knowledge in mere words, you can only directly experience it. And this profound, unmediated experience occurs only when you truly transcend your ego, your limited sense of I, when you consciously choose to dissolve the self-imposed barriers of your personal identity.
The ego, as Gibran implies, is truly the fundamental wall that separates us from ourselves, from our true essence, our boundless nature. As long as we rigidly identify ourselves as merely a body and a mind, limited and separate, we cannot know our eternal soul. For the soul transcends both body and mind. It is, by its very nature, eternal, infinite, interconnected with all of life. And when we courageously connect with our soul, when we experience that profound shift in awareness, we awaken to that infinitude, that eternity, and a boundless sense of being that liberates us from all limitations.
This profound experience of connecting with our true eternal self inherently liberates us from our deepest fears, especially from the fundamental fear of death. It grants us true, unshakable freedom, for we realize our intrinsic connection to something vastly larger and timeless than our individual transient existence.
However, reaching this profound experience is undeniably not easy. It requires consistent discipline, a conscious purification of the mind from its clutter and conditioning, and a gradual, often uncomfortable, dissolution of the ego. A continuous practice of mindful letting go and surrender. So, I pose this challenge. Are you ready for this transformative practice? Ready to courageously let go of your ego, your limited self-concept, so you may truly behold and become one with your soul? If so, Gibran promises, you have embarked on the most thrilling, challenging, and profoundly meaningful journey of your entire life.
And in this inner journey, Gibran assures us, you are never truly alone. While you might seek guidance from a teacher or a guru to show you the way, the greatest guru, the most trustworthy guide, sits patiently within you. Your own heart, your inner conscience, your intuitive wisdom. You just need to cultivate the practice of listening deeply and learning to trust its subtle, unwavering voice, which is always there, guiding you home.
This next insight from Gibran truly opens up a universal perspective on self-knowledge, unifying the inner and outer worlds. He presents another crucial truth on this journey. When you know yourself, you will know all the mysteries of life, for you and life are one. You are a drop in the ocean, and you are the entire ocean.
That is a beautiful articulation of the principle of Advaita, or non-duality, a fundamental concept in many ancient wisdom traditions, which states that everything is ultimately one, without fundamental distinctions or separation. When we truly experience this profound truth, our entire perspective completely transforms, shifts fundamentally. We begin to see that same singular consciousness, that universal essence in everything, in every person, every living being, every atom of creation. Consequently, we harbor no hatred or malice towards anyone, because we understand at a fundamental level that we are all interconnected members of one vast, universal family, intrinsically linked by this shared consciousness.
And this profound experience of unity fills us with universal love and boundless compassion, extending beyond individual relationships to all of existence. We begin to see the entire world, all creation, as our own, as part of ourselves. This, Gibran suggests, is the ultimate fruit of self-knowledge, the blossoming of universal love, boundless compassion, and an unshakable inner peace that arises from the recognition of our inherent oneness. So I invite you, would you like to taste this exquisite fruit? To experience the profound unity that dissolves all perceived distinctions and brings a deep sense of belonging and connectedness? If so, you must bravely open the doors of your heart and allow the boundless love that already exists within you to flow freely, unimpeded.
Love, Gibran reveals, is truly the master key that unlocks the door to self-knowledge. When we learn to love authentically, to love ourselves unconditionally, love others empathetically, love all creation reverently, we gradually draw closer to our true nature, our divine essence. And one day, in a moment of profound recognition, we realize that we are love, we are bliss, we are peace. This, he asserts, is the pinnacle of self-knowledge, a full realization of our inherent divinity and interconnectedness.
But to reach this pinnacle, to embody this profound truth, we must make continuous conscious efforts, persist diligently in our inner practice, and never ever give up on this most important journey. The path to self-knowledge may be long and challenging, filled with moments of doubt, difficulty, but its ultimate destination, Gibran promises, is exquisitely beautiful, eternally joyful and utterly liberating.
Gibran also reminds us that self-knowledge is not something to be acquired, like a skill or information. It's rather something we already possess, something we have merely forgotten or allowed to be obscured by life's distractions. Like a prince who forgets his true identity and lives as a beggar, we too, he suggests, often live as ordinary, limited humans, having tragically forgotten our divine identity and our boundless inherent power.
Self-knowledge, then, is a profound act of remembrance. It restores our lost identity, our true heritage. It reminds us who we truly are, what our innate powers are, what our deepest purpose is. And when we remember this fundamental truth, our lives are completely transformed from the inside out. We change from fearful to brave, from ignorant to wise, from sorrowful to truly joyful, living from a place of inner abundance.
This, Gibran reveals, is the miracle of self-knowledge. So I ask you now, do you wish to experience this profound miracle in your own life? To reclaim your forgotten divinity and live with boundless potential, unconstrained by self-imposed limits? If so, you must courageously look within yourself and discover the diamond that lies buried in the mud, your soul, your true luminous self. And when you find it, you will realize that you are, in truth, the wealthiest person in the world. For you possess a treasure that cannot be stolen, never diminishes, and is a source of infinite peace and joy.
So let us embark on this ultimate quest for this internal treasure, remembering always that this search is not external but profoundly internal. For heaven and hell, Gibran suggests, are not elsewhere but exist within the landscape of our own minds. And self-knowledge teaches us to become the master of our mind, to consciously shape our inner world so that we may transform our lives into a heaven, a place of unshakable peace, profound fulfillment, and boundless love. 10. On friendship, the soul's companionship. All right, after the profound journey of self-knowledge, Al-Mustafa gently turns his gaze to another precious human relationship, friendship. Friends are an essential, often foundational part of our lives, companions in joy and sorrow, trusted guides, our greatest supporters through life's unpredictable currents. Al-Mustafa, as always, offers a fresh, elevated definition of friendship, transforming it beyond mere companionship into something sacred.
He states, with beautiful and evocative imagery, "Your friend is your needs answered. He is your field which you sow with love and reap with thanksgiving." This beautiful metaphor describes a friend not just as someone fulfilling a social role, but as a fertile field where we consciously sow seeds of love, trust, vulnerability. And in return, we harvest this rich crop of gratitude, happiness, profound understanding. True friends, Gibran implies, intuitively meet needs that perhaps no one else truly understands. They listen deeply, comprehend unspoken truths, accept us as we are completely, without conditions or judgment.
That kind of connection sounds truly rare and invaluable. True friendship, then, knows no pretense, no hidden agenda, no self-interest, only selfless love and unshakable trust. Do you have such a friend in your life? Someone who embodies this depth and unconditional acceptance? If so, Gibran would surely say you are truly fortunate. For true friendship is a priceless gift from the divine, a spiritual blessing, and we must always cherish it, nurturing its growth with care and intentionality.
But is friendship only about taking, about receiving comfort and support? Or is it also profoundly about giving? Gibran clarifies that genuine friendship is inherently a two-way street, a dynamic exchange. We must consciously do for our friend what we expect from them. We must deeply consider their needs, offer our unwavering love, genuine support, always strive to be present for them in all seasons of life. When this delicate balance of giving and receiving, mutual care and respect exists in a friendship, it becomes strong, resilient, enduring, truly capable of withstanding the trials and tribulations of life.
So, does Gibran limit friendship to merely sharing joys and triumphs? Or does it extend to providing that steady, comforting presence through sorrows and challenges as well? He clearly leads us to a form of friendship that supports us through all seasons of life, the brightest and the darkest.
Gibran describes the profound depth of true friendship, where words often become secondary. When your friend speaks his mind, you fear not the nay in your own mind, nor do you withhold the a. And when he is silent, your heart ceases not to listen to his heart. For in friendship, all thoughts, all desires, all expectations are born and shared with a joy that is unuttered. These lines truly convey the profound, almost telepathic depth of genuine friendship.
That's a beautiful insight into nonverbal communication. True friends often understand each other's unspoken thoughts, their underlying emotions, their deepest intentions. A silent dialogue, a subtle resonance exists between them, far more powerful and revealing than spoken words alone. They can share every joy, every sorrow, every dream, every fear with each other without hesitation or reservation, because they know implicitly that they will be understood, accepted, held in a space of complete trust.
And this profound understanding, this silent communion is possible because they trust fundamentally that their friend will understand, will stand by them, will never abandon them, even in the face of uncomfortable truths. This unwavering trust is the very foundation of friendship. It's bedrock. And when this foundation is strong, the bond of friendship can withstand any storm, any challenge. So I invite you to reflect. Is there such profound trust in your friendship? Are you so comfortable and secure with your friend that you can truly say anything to them and they to you, knowing you will be met with acceptance? If so, your friendship is indeed deep and true, and it's crucial to nurture it with profound care.
In today's incredibly fast-paced, often superficial world, true friends are indeed hard to find, and if found, they should be cherished and never lost. But what specifically does it take to maintain such a precious friendship amidst the demands of modern life? Are there specific principles, almost unwritten rules, to keep it strong and vibrant over time through changing circumstances?
Well, what's truly insightful here is Gibran's practical wisdom for maintaining true friendship. It extends beyond mere emotional connection to conscious action. Go to your friend in his hour of need, but fail not to remember him in his hour of plenty. Quote, "For that friend is not true who is remembered only when one needs him, nor is he true who is remembered only when one needs company."
Right. This means a true friend is consistently present, a constant in your life. Whether you're navigating profound joy or deep sorrow, whether you're in dire need or living in comfortable leisure, they become an integral, almost indispensable part of our lives, without whom we feel a sense of incompleteness or longing. But does this active presence mean we should become a burden to our friends? Or, conversely, allow them to become a burden to us, infringing on our autonomy?
No, Gibran suggests that even friendship, for all its intimacy, must have healthy boundaries and profound respect. We must respect our friends' freedom, their individuality, their right to their own space and decisions, and they ours. Friendship does not mean interfering in each other's lives without invitation or attempting to control one another, as we discussed with marriage. Instead, it means supporting each other's authentic growth, inspiring each other to reach higher, helping each other become better, more complete individuals, growing together in freedom and mutual upliftment.
And when friendship embodies this spirit of mutual respect, inspiration, it never becomes a burden. Instead, it transforms into a powerful source of creative inspiration and profound joy for us both. So I ask you, is your friendship like this? Do you and your friend genuinely help each other grow, challenge each other constructively, become better versions of yourselves through your connection? If so, your friendship is not just a bond, but a true partnership, one that enriches your life even further, adding layers of meaning and support.
Gibran also reminds us of a subtle yet profound aspect of friendship, the shared silence itself. He says, "When you part from your friend, you grieve not, for that which you love most in him may be clearer in his absence, as the mountain to the climber is clearer from the plain." These beautiful lines teach us that physical distance doesn't inherently weaken true friendship. Paradoxically, it can strengthen it by allowing our appreciation to deepen, by clarifying the essence of what we love and value in that person.
That's true. When we're physically away from our friend, we often recall their good qualities, their unique spirit even more vividly. Their value, their irreplaceable presence becomes even clearer in our minds and hearts. And when we meet again after a period of absence, our joy is deepened, almost doubled, by that renewed appreciation. In friendship, Gibran suggests, silence also holds its sacred importance. It's not always necessary to fill every moment with talk. Sometimes just being present, sharing a quiet space, is more than enough.
Sometimes, simply sitting together in comfortable silence without the need for words or external entertainment is the most beautiful, most intimate experience of friendship. That profound silence paradoxically brings us closer, connects our hearts in a way that words, with all their limitations, often cannot. Have you ever experienced such a silent moment with your friend, where just being together was enough? If so, you know how profoundly comforting, powerful, and deeply connecting it can be.
Ultimately, Gibran suggests, the most crucial aspect of true friendship is feeling each other's profound presence. Whether we're physically together or apart, actively talking, or silently communing. And when this feeling of deep connection and mutual respect truly deepens, the bond of friendship becomes unbreakable, a constant source of unwavering support, understanding, and affection in our lives.
Let us all strive, then, to deepen and enrich our friendships. Let us consciously give our friends our most precious gifts, our time, our genuine love, our unshakable trust. For friendship is a true treasure that fills our lives with immense joy and enduring hope. And it is our profound duty to protect this treasure, to nurture it with consistent care, profound respect, and selfless attention, allowing it to flourish and bless our lives. Outro.
Well,
Yeah.
You've just been on a truly transformative deep dive into Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. We've journeyed through Al-Mustafa's profound thoughts on these critical universal aspects of life: love, marriage, children, giving, work, joy and sorrow, freedom, reason and passion, self-knowledge and friendship. Our sincere hope is that these insights have spurred your own deep reflection and maybe offered you a fresh, liberating perspective on your own life's journey.
Gibran's words, through al-Mustafa, they reveal that life is this intricate, dynamic journey, filled with a diverse tapestry of experiences, some sweet, some bitter, some challenging. Yet every single experience, Gibran reminds us, teaches us something invaluable. It shapes us into better, more compassionate, more resilient individuals. Love, in his view, teaches profound selflessness, liberation. Marriage, the art of true partnership, mutual respect. Children, the expansive hope of the future, the joy of letting go. And giving. Well, giving teaches the true, paradoxical meaning of abundance and internal joy.
Work, when approached with love, provides unparalleled purpose and fulfillment, transforming even mundane tasks into sacred acts. And joy and sorrow, rather than being enemies, teach us life's vital balance, resilience, the true meaning of equanimity. Freedom inspires us to look within, dismantle our inner limitations. The harmony of reason and passion illuminates our true path, guiding us with both wisdom and vitality. Self-knowledge, that ultimate quest, connects us to our authentic, boundless identity, and profound friendship offers unwavering support and affection, enriching our human experience beyond measure.
And these are not mere philosophical concepts from some dusty book, are they? They feel like eternal, living truths of life itself. When we truly integrate these truths into our daily existence, when we embody them in our actions, our mindset, our lives become profoundly meaningful, authentically joyful, truly liberated, transcending the superficial and connecting with the profound. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Gibran's timeless wisdom, it just transcends cultures, generations, because it speaks so directly, so eloquently to the universal human experience, to the questions that resonate in every heart. It challenges us gently yet powerfully to look beyond the superficial illusions of life and connect with the profound, the deeply human, the truly divine within and around us.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Consider this provocative thought as you move forward. If every aspect of life, from the deepest love to the most mundane work, from intense joy to the profound embrace of freedom, is truly a manifestation of our inner state, an unfolding of our deepest self, what kind of world could we truly create? What kind of life could you truly live if we consciously chose to cultivate that inner wisdom, that inner peace, that profound interconnectedness, allowing it to flow outward into every interaction, every relationship, every moment of our existence? This deep dive was just a spark, maybe a doorway opened. Now it's up to you to keep that spark alive within you, to explore those open doors and to courageously integrate these powerful ancient ideas into your own unique modern life.